Kawasaki Motorcycle Troubleshooting. If you're looking for help fixing your Kawasaki motorcycle, look no further. Our comprehensive Kawasaki Motorcycle Troubleshooting Guide will explain common issues, provide tips, and show you how to read your model's error codes. Gearshift Problems. From scenic ripping super sport bikes to casual cruisers, responsive gear shifts are a must. No matter the length of your trip, you are in for a lot of gear shifting, which is why you need to watch out for potential errors or problems. Reported intermittent gear shifting problems. Gear problems on Kawasaki's have been caused by a few different culprits, including problems downshifting, problems upshifting, the gears are getting stuck, the gears failing to engage, clutch slipping. Some Kawasaki owners claimed that due to shifting problems, the bike felt like it had engaged the gears, but in reality, the gear had failed to move and was stuck in the previous gear. Pull the clutch back in, rev the throttle, and engine brake to decelerate just a tad. Then re-engage the clutch and hit the throttle with quick acceleration, and the gear should pop into place. Kawasaki ticking, clicking noises. Being one of the best bike manufacturers in the world doesn't mean Kawasaki is immune to complaints. Some owners have taken issue with some of the weird sounds that resonate from particular Kawasaki's. These noise reports outline issues occurring on both running bikes and bikes that are off. Noise issues on Kawasaki's typically pop up between 2,000 and 7,000 miles. Possible culprits range from owners being sensitive to normal operating sounds, the bike being overdue for a maintenance service, or the sound-indicated motor damage in a few difficult situations. A few things to check when engine ticks and clicks occur: oil levels, fluid levels, hydraulic lifters, cam chain tensioners, valve adjustments, exhaust leaks. It's important to note that if the bike is taken into a dealership, you have to explain the noise fairly well, so pay attention to its sound and where it's coming from when it's happening. Kawasaki rear brake and caliper problem. Kawasaki track bikes are two-wheeled race rockers, engineered for speed and reliable performance on a racetrack. When on a racetrack, speed is just as important as stopping power, so brakes need to be functioning correctly. Unfortunately, some Kawasaki's owners we've encountered have reported some issues with brakes and calipers. The most common brake issue we hear is that the rear brake feels somewhat spongy, sticky, and sometimes appears ineffective. When the brake lever is engaged, the bike takes longer to come to a complete stop. Other things to try for Kawasaki rear brake issues: bleeding the brakes. Check if pistons are stuck. Adjust rear brake light switch. Check and replace brake pads. Adjusting the levers to limit lag. Parts such as the pistons, calipers, springs, and even the brake pads themselves can also be the issue, as poor brake maintenance will affect these parts over time as well. Kawasaki drive pulley issues. The drive pulley on a bike is the component that drives the belt. Like many belt-driven motorcycles, Kawasaki's with drive pulley issues typically have a noisy belt, or the bike goes through a lot of replacement drive belts. On a bike with a failing drive pulley, the sound starts quite low and then gradually gets louder into a screeching or grinding sound. It sounds abnormal. The noise seemed to come from the front belt pulley area on the Kawasaki Vulcans that experienced this issue. When pulling in the clutch to coast to a stop, the owners noticed that the grinding noise would become even louder. Upon further inspection, there was a clicking sound when the wheels rotated. Symptoms of bad or failing drive pulleys: grinding or squeaky noise from the belt pulley, abnormally worn out belt, engine misfiring, oil leaks, lower mileage per gallon of fuel, belt slipping. We say this because the owners have been responsible for many of the culprits behind a failing drive pulley. Sticking to a regular maintenance schedule is a good step towards avoiding things like low water, lubricant levels and oil leaks. Source motor and wheels.com